I'm going to start with a drone video of this project, and it really is a bird's-eye view of the building. The idea really is to design a hotel in a garden. And the inspirations and the references we had were really from geological forms of rocks, canyons, caves, waterfalls, and also landscape like paddy fields, rice fields in Southeast Asia. So the project was really about the integration of architecture and landscape, which we have termed it topographical architecture. PARKROYAL and Pickering is also about tropicality and also being in context. It is located on the fringe of the central business district of Singapore, with all the high-rise and skyscrapers, and also on the fringe of Chinatown, where we have heritage buildings of 3 to 4 story buildings. So the project is also about humanizing the high-rise structure, breaking down the scale to match those of the heritage buildings in the neighborhood, and also creating delight and interest for the man in the street. So we wanted to actually draw the urban park, which is fronting the building, into the development. This is a ground floor plan, and what we wanted to do was to turn the ground floor into a landscape, and the plan and the uses are really just stepping stones in the garden. This is Upper Pickering Street, which is a busy road that leads into a central business district, and the urban park is on the left, and in the middle is the portal that is the entrance to the hotel. So the entrance drop-off is also conceived as a huge cave, as a tropical community space, and also planned as a covered and shaded event space for seasonal festivals. Running full length of the site is a linear garden. It's a public walkway with water gardens, waterfalls next to it. On both sides, the linear garden opens up into a bigger pocket garden and plaza spaces. The developer embraced the idea of the hotel in the garden and is prepared to give up some prime area on the ground level and giving back to the city garden spaces. This is the hotel lobby, and we're also blurring the exterior and the interiors and transforming the topographical architecture into consistent and integrated interior design language. So this is the bridge that leads you to the restaurant and also to the lifts that brings you up to the guest rooms. So all the public areas and also the guest rooms are naturally lit because of the shallow depth of the rooms and the spaces. Mirrors are actually used further to balance the natural light and also mirror the landscape back into the building. This is a section across the building. On level 1 and level 2, we have the public areas. On level 3 and 4 is the car park building, and also the structure that supports most of the landscape. And level 6 to level 16, lifted off the podium, are the guest rooms. Level 5, we call it the new ground level, which is elevated. It's the recreational and the leisure spaces for the hotel and the offices. It is the full extent of the building site and also incorporates a 400-meter garden walk all around it. You have a swimming pool, and you can see the walk below all around the hotel building. And lifted above is the guest rooms. We also have the spa, rest cabanas, and even the spa, as you look out, you don't really realize that you're actually in a building. It almost looks as if you're on the ground level. And you can actually walk among this, and they have a 400-meter walking trail around the hotel. So those contours are actually made of precast concrete, and for the ceiling, it's actually made of glass reinforced concrete for the underbelly. They're all done in a modular way, and that only limited numbers of molds were required. This is the car park ramp that brings you up to the 3rd and 4th story car park. It's also making it easy to actually maintain the landscapes in the building. Level 6 to level 16 is the guest room block and all the guest rooms. It's actually divided into three tiers of sky gardens. As you can see in a typical plan, a guest room layout plan, the rooms are arranged around the sky gardens. On the single loaded hotel configuration, the guests would actually walk through non-air conditioned walkways through gardens and reflection pools to their home for the night. And for those not on the sky garden levels, you walk through bridges that overlooks the gardens and vertical greenery. So as a whole, when you see all the gardens, it becomes a vertical garden. But what we really wanted to do was to actually provide the public housing that's behind the building a very interesting vertical garden to enjoy. So these are the rooms, and the rooms actually look out into the gardens, including the bathrooms. And all rooms have a view like this. So just some of the ESG features that relates to the gardens. Water is harvested to irrigate all the planting. And there's PV cells to make all the gardens zero energy. This is the today's city map of Singapore. And you can see this little green pocket, not pocket park, but urban park on the bottom left. When I zoom in, you can see the building is below, and this park is actually called Hong Lim Park. It is named after a businessman more than 150 years ago who brought this piece of land and converted it into a park for the workers. This is the aerial view of PARKROYAL in Pickering, fronting Hong Lim Park today. And what we have managed to do is create the same size green area as Hong Lim Park, 150,000 square feet as gardens in the sky. Creating 200% of the project site area as green replacement. So in a dense city like Singapore, these sky gardens are a relief for the people and also a habitat for birds and the bees. At this point, we'd like to thank the developer UOL in participating with us in what we call civic generosity.